Want to know how all these clients were able to get into their dream home this past year, even through the pandemic? Home buying should be a fun experience, and it is one of the biggest purchases of your adult life. But oftentimes, it turns out to be one of the most stressful, and it doesn't have to be. There are some simple steps that you must take in order to make the home buying experience easy and stress-free. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's episode. So make sure you stick around for the entire thing. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. But first, my name's Josh Parker, your Austin realtor, born and raised in this great city of Austin, Texas for the past 40 years. I know the ins and outs of real estate, so let's get to it. The process of buying a home can be daunting and frustrating as a first-time home buyer, and oftentimes confusing. And I get asked questions all the time. Where do I begin? What do I have to do? What are the steps? And these are all great questions because they are a very important part to buying your first home. So I've made a list of the 10-step process. It's a very simple process that if you will follow can make your home buying experience so easy and enjoyable for the most part in order to make that lifetime investment of buying your first home. Number one, you've already done it. You're watching this video, and that is to find an agent. And you want an agent that understands the market that you're in and understands the ins and outs of everything real estate related. So you've already completed that. Congrats. Number two is to get pre-approved. Now, if you haven't already started this process, don't stress out. I can give you some contacts for different lenders, and you're going to want to talk to more than one. Look, guys, shop them out. They are competing for your business just like everything else in this world. And it's important to determine which program and which lender is best suited for what you're needing. So that's number two on the list. Number three, once you have your pre-approval, we are going to sit down and make a list of your wants and needs. And I'm going to compile those items and create a list of homes for you to go look at. Which brings me to number four, showings. We're going to take all the time it needs to find the right house for you. Now, look, I've done showings 40, 50 homes with clients that have moved from out of state that have never been to Texas and weren't sure exactly where they wanted to live. And luckily for them, I am a member of 4 different MLSs, so we were able to go view a lot of different cities, a lot of different homes, and it took 40 plus homes until they fell in love with the right house. And so don't worry about wasting my time. Don't worry about wasting anybody's time. This is a major investment that you want to be happy with. And so if it takes us 40, great. It's going to take us 40 homes. If it takes us 2, great. Whatever it takes, we're going to find the right house for you. So number 5 is the offer. Now, as a first-time home buyer, you probably have never seen a contract or a residential housing contract. So I will draft that up, make it very simple. I will lay it out. I've even got an email that I send along with the contract that takes you through the bullet points of the contract that you need to be aware of and you need to be mindful of, because it shows what you're paying, what you're offering for the home, how much your down payment is, and all of those items are very important to the process. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Even if the email doesn't spell it out for you, pick up the phone, call me, or we can sit down and go through it. But it is a very important step. Number 6, once your offer has been accepted by the seller, now it is escrow and option money time. Now, what is escrow? Escrow money is your amount that you are showing, typically 1% of the home price, that you are a serious buyer, that you want this home, and your option money is typically 1% of that escrow, And your option period is typically a set number of days that you have to do a handful of inspections, time that you can have a cool off period, and make sure that it is the right purchase for you. So that money will go to the title company that we have selected in the contract, and you will deliver that to them or wire it to them, and that will sit at title until the day of closing. Now, number 7, as I mentioned, you have an option period, inspections. And I'll post a video up that I just did on inspections. Make sure you watch it because it is important info to know, so I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail on inspections, but this is your time to get inspections done on the home to make sure that everything is up to par. There's no major issues that are hidden. They're going to check the foundation. They're going to check the roof. They're going to check your mechanicals. And look, guys, it's going to be 40 plus pages of information, but there's a handful of items. Like I said, watch that video that I posted up above, all about inspections. So after inspections, now we're at number 8, financing. And this is oftentimes the most stressful part of buying a home. And it really doesn't have to be, but it's going to feel like it takes forever. Your lender is now going to ask for an appraisal. That will be an additional fee, typically between $700 and $1,000. And they're also going to be asking you for additional documentation. I understand that you got the pre-approval, but now you have to get fully underwritten in order to buy the home. The bank wants to know that you are 100% able to make your payments and follow through with your agreement of buying the home. And so there's going to be a lot of ups and downs, a lot of start, stop, and it can be very, very frustrating if you don't understand this process. So number 9, last steps. Again, I lumped this into number 8 as well because, again, it has to do with financing and underwriting. And lender's probably going to ask you for another set of documents as you get within a week or so of the closing. So don't be alarmed if your lender goes, hey, I need all your bank records again, or I need your W-2s, or whatever the case is. Understand that they're going to ask you multiple times throughout the process, and that's why I put it into a second step so that you understand this is the longest part of buying a home, and as I said, the most frustrating, because you're going to feel like you've already done this. Why am I doing it again? The banks require it. They want to know that you haven't spent any money halfway through, put any more stuff on your credit card, or gone and bought a car. Don't do it. And so these 2 steps are lumped together. This is also a time that you will get your appraisal back and make sure that the value is justified for the asking price. Last step, closing day. Most exciting day for you as a first-time home buyer, but there are a couple things that you should know about, because you're going to have to bring your closing money to the table. You're going to either wire it, most likely these days, to the title company. And you've already gotten this information on step 9 from the lender 3 days prior to close. All the documents, what you're going to pay, how much you need to bring to the closing table. And so on closing day, you're going to meet me at the title company. You're going to go in, sit down at a table, sign 1,000,000 pages, and then guess what? You're probably expecting to get your keys right then. Doesn't happen. The file has to fund, which means that it will take a couple hours, and that is why typically you see closings done early in the day so that the lender has time to make sure everything's good. Title has time to make sure everything's good. Get the documents together, that the seller is signed, that the buyer is signed, and it takes a few hours. So later on in that afternoon, I will give you a call. I will say, hey, Files funded. Congrats, you are now a homeowner. Where would you like to meet and get your keys? We'll meet up, hand you your keys, and that is the process of buying a home. Now, if you follow these simple steps and allow me to help guide you through the process, home buying can be super, super easy and a enjoyable time. So I hope this all helps. If you'll do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss out on all the other videos. I hope y'all have a great day, and we'll see y'all soon.